to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good day in the market, good trading day. It's an interesting day for sure. The Fed came out and told us they were going to lower the interest rate by 50 basis points. And for a minute there, it looked like that was good news, but that good news didn't last very long. And the market turned down, and it looked like the sky was falling again. Another 1,000 points. We went down as much as 1,000 at one time, almost 1,000. And then I think we closed down 700 and something. But I wanted to get back with you tonight and share some trades I've been making over the last few days and let you see the kind of trades I'm making now. Doesn't mean that you need to make the same trades, but just kind of give you an idea of what kind of trader I am, what kind of things I do when the market's going down like this. So let's go ahead and take a look at our portfolio, and then we'll take a look at some of the trades I've made since last Friday. Okay? All right, so let's cut over to our portfolio. And here we are. We've got SPY. That's one we added Friday. GBTC, as you can see, our portfolio red all the way across the board. Not what we want to see, but again, those are times and opportunities to cost average or buy some new things. So that's what I've done over the last few days. But that's kind of where we're at. You can see here that we were red across the board. Everything was pretty red all day. Pretty much we had a little green in SPY, green in QQQ, a little green on VTI. Those are all three ETFs that track the market. And you can see where the market went green when that announcement was made on all three markets there. And then as soon as the dust settled on that, everything went back down to red. Now, we did have a good little pop in X today for a minute at the same time. So that tells me that when this market turns around, X is probably going to be in pretty good shape because it kind of followed the market. You see here some more MPC, little tip of green there. That when that news came out, it turned green. You got CLF, which is a steel iron ore company. It turned green for a minute there, and ACB kind of fought all day long to try to stay green, but fell off towards the end of the day. So, but we did have some signs of life there when the good news came out, but then everything went to pot after that. So, but that's okay. It's opportunities to buy, and so that's what we've done a lot of in the last few days. And when things go down and keep going down, if you trust these stocks that you've been purchasing, you might want to cost average on them or even add to them. So I noticed that the market, yesterday was up really high, and so we had some good runs with some of the stuff we've been buying on those ETFs. So I'm going to show you some things that we did the last few days here, and we'll take a look at that now. Let's go ahead and cut over to there, and let me pull up that screen for us here. As you can see here, I just kind of highlighted the different days, and we'll go through what we've done in the different days there. But the 28th, which was last Friday, I bought some more QQQ at this price here, 198.64. And then I bought some VTI. This is another ETF that tracks the market for 145.39. And bought SPY that tracks the S&P and for 286.72. Also on that same day, bought MPC for 45.50. And I actually bought some Novavax for 14.90. Now this I'm buying in a different account. I actually sold out of Novavax last week, and bought some more towards the end of the day after it fell from it actually went up to 17 something that day, I think it was. And when it fell down to 14.90, I bought into it. I think I did that after hours. No, that was during the day. So, but it had gotten up to 16 and 17. And so once I saw it start to fall, I went ahead and started repurchasing those because I was completely out. in one of my accounts. Okay. 28th, I also bought some more SPY in another account, same price just about. And then in another account, I sold some Novavax at 16. But this is a different account. These two trades here, totally different account. All right, so that's what we did on the 28th, which was a Friday. A lot of buying, a couple sales there, or one sale. And then on the 2nd, which is what that was Monday. Monday we bought Novavax. As you can see, I'm buying Novavax in an account that I sold out of. Okay, all these purchases are going to be lower than the most recent transactions I made. So Novavax at 14, Novavax at 12. Then I bought some more MPC, a little bit higher than what I bought it before, but I like where it's settling there. It's hanging in there pretty good. Bought some X at 8. I've been waiting for it to get there, so I'm finally cost averaging some that I already have. Bought some more here on the next following day. Got it a little bit cheaper, so I went ahead and bought some more. That was today. Bought some more MPC, a little bit cheaper, 45, 47. I just like the way it held up. Both of them held up today. I like the indication I got when the market was green, how both of them had gone to green. So I just trust these stocks. I've had them for a long time. Now, X has been beaten down terrible in the last year, and MPC has been beaten pretty bad here in the last few weeks. But I'd like those stocks. I mean, I bought them, and I'm always able to get rid of them at some time. It may be down the road a ways, but MPC pays a decent dividend. X pays a little bit of a dividend, not much, but it pays a little bit. QQQ, again, the index, one that tracks the stock market. This is the Nasdaq that it tracks. Bought some more of that today at 210 when the market was down about. I think I bought that about 500 or 700. I can't remember how far it was down, but I bought some more of that today. So that's kind of what we did today and the previous days. As you can see, I've been quite busy buying these dips. And now, like I said before, you don't ever pick the bottoms. You don't ever pick the tops. But that's the way it goes. You just, you start purchasing them when they're dipping. And then, of course, they can keep on going. And if they do, and if you trust that stock, you continue to buy and cost average your price. Don't ever buy everything that you want the first purchase. You want to think about, I'm going to probably purchase these things 3 or 4 times. So you want to keep that in mind when you're buying your stock. If you want to buy 1,000 shares of something, you might want to buy 200 shares, every so often, or something like that. It's up to you how you want to do it, but I just know that I've never hit the bottoms hardly when I make that first purchase. If I get lucky and if I hit that bottom, I'm going to turn around and sell that thing if it goes up the next day for 3 or 4 or 5%. Now I've actually got some of these indexes that we bought, these ETFs. Yesterday they were pretty green. I didn't sell them because I'm thinking that's a longer term hold, and we're going to probably be able to get more money out of them when all this virus stuff settles. They'll go back up to a real good level, and we'll probably make 10%. The market's down 10% right now, 10 or 15. So I'm going to hold them a little bit longer than normal probably. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into our CNBC and just kind of check out, see what's going on tonight in the markets in Asia, and then check to see what we might be in for store for tomorrow. Okay. So let's get over there. All right, so Asian markets here, we've got a little bit of green on those. Hong Kong's down. These are pretty flat. Nothing spectacular going on there. Today's markets we were down 785. 86 in the S&P, and then 268 in the NASDAQ. Russell down 32. You can see this VIX, that's that volatility index, and it's been going up pretty good here the last few days. But let's go ahead and take a look at our pre-market. Oh, that looks pretty good. Looks like we might be off to a good start tomorrow. But we know how this goes. It can change in a hurry, and I'd be pleased if it's here in the morning, but I kind of have my doubts. But that'd be wonderful. We'd need have us a good day tomorrow. We've had we had a good day Monday, but we sure did give it back today, a lot of it anyway. So 1,200 point day Monday. So you can't ask for much more than that. But it looks like we might start out tomorrow with a decent start to the day. Probably won't be buying a whole lot tomorrow. Gonna kind of let the dust settle again a little bit to make sure this thing's not gonna go down too much further. Watch Novavax. Novavax, I'm starting to add to it in my account. Still holding a few shares in my wife's account. They're all real green from the original price that they were purchased, so I can afford to hold those a little bit longer. But it is falling, and so we've got to watch that one real close. It's on a downward trend for sure. It's gone from 17, I think is what it got to the other day, all the way down to 10 something. So we gotta keep an eye on that one. I've been buying it on the way down. I'm still counting on that NanoFlu. So I want to be holding some shares of that in both of my accounts, and that's the reason I'm adding to it. I'm adding smaller lots. I'm not buying too big of lots. I'm just adding smaller amounts of shares on the way down, and hopefully it'll stop bleeding here pretty soon. It's gone down, like I said, to 10 something, between 10 and 11 all day today. So we'll watch it. We don't want it to go too much further down because we've been purchasing them. Like I said, you saw those purchases I made last week, and we don't want this thing to get too far down. But if that news comes out on the NanoFlu, it's going to be real good. This virus news on it's kind of dying off on it a little bit, and that's why it's turning down. You got another company that's talking about they may have a vaccine any day now that they're going to be ready to test, and so they're kind of putting Novavax on the back burner. But they were on a meeting with Trump the other day, with that group that was with Trump. If you get the chance to pull that up on YouTube, you can hear their guy that speaks around the 36-minute mark, and so they're in the mix of it. So anything can happen. They've been doing some animal testing right now, and they should have some results on that probably this week on that vaccine. So if that kind of news comes out, we might get a little pop with that news. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you watching the videos. Don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And I hope you have a good day of trading tomorrow. Looks like we might get a good start to one, but I'll try to get back on here tomorrow night with a video, and we'll talk about what happened tomorrow, and see where we go from there. Okay? Have a great evening. Thanks. Bye. To subscribe, click the button in the right-hand corner. Thank you.